If you're a chiropractor, this is the number one thing your practice needs this year to make more money. I'm Dr. Dan, I'm a chiropractor, and I'm passionate about the brain, but I'm most excited about helping you take your message and your care to the next level this year. What if I told you you could change one thing that would immediately gain the trust of your prospects and your new patients and actually position you as the only one to solve their specific problem? And it's based on science, and it's just one thing. Would you do it? That's what this message is about. That's what this video is about. And I'm going to reveal to you, and you may be surprised. Listen, anything that I do is based on the science. So if I can't reference it, I won't write it. If I can't cite it, I won't say it. This is scientific, but simple strategy that you are probably not using to actually scale your business, your practice, and most importantly, your impact on your community. As you've probably heard, this is the year that AI, artificial intelligence, is going to disrupt a lot of things. And when I say a lot of things, that is marketing, messaging, and that's even the information that your practice members or your prospects, the people in your community, are getting. Artificial intelligence is a thing that's not going away. You have to have an answer for this. And I'm going to show you exactly how. And what I'm going to teach is this power of influencing people that has you positioned as the only one to solve their problem, and you're immediately trustworthy. The reason why this is so cool is because you actually can charge premium prices. So I teach a model where chiropractors can actually convert more of their clients, their prospects, their new patients into care plans with less effort and with being more of themselves. So in this day and age of AI, artificial intelligence is going to continue to disrupt a lot of things, as I said. Just check it out. By the way, if you haven't just fooled around with it, ChatGPT, go create a login and start asking it. The first two questions I asked it were, why should I see a chiropractor? And the second one was, why should I not see a chiropractor? And to be honest, I was actually okay with both answers. Ultimately, it's gonna come back to, as my good buddy, Dr. Livigood, reminded me over the holidays, he said, it really actually matters who's giving it the information. And I agree with him. I'm like, Blake, you're exactly right. Who's giving that data the AI is pulling from? I'm not here to actually talk all about that. I just want you to know AI is going to be disruptive, and it's not going away. People say it's going to be bigger than the internet itself. And so if you haven't noticed that, or you haven't even played a part in that, or you don't know anything about it, it's okay. What I'm here to tell you though is, it will never be able to disrupt the fact that people need to come see you, and they need to get their brain to body connection improved. They need interference removed from their autonomic nervous system. They need their spine evaluated, assessed, addressed, and adjusted. That's a fact. AI, a robot, can't do it. That means your job will never be disrupted as a chiropractor. Now, you also have an opportunity to provide lifestyle information, which obviously they could get from there, but it's better coming from you. Why? You teach them that the greatest doctor's inside and that they're pre-programmed for health. So everything they put into their mouth, every way they move their body, every adjustment is for one reason, and that is to allow that internal intelligence to do what it was supposed to do. And that is to create healthy cells and to replace healthy cells. So I get excited about this because I want to remind you, you are the doctor of the future, and I don't care what anybody tells you. It is a great time to be a chiropractor. It's an amazing time to be a chiropractor. Why? Because as of 2020, it laid the groundwork for this undertone of fear. And so the opposite of fear, what I believe the opposite of fear is hope. You provide that. Now, let me get back to the number one way you're making more money and how to do that, because I know that's top of mind for you, and it should, because when you make more money, you help more people. When you help more people, you have more resources to actually grow and scale. And my objective is, as a coach, to help you actually scale so you have more freedom. You have more time away from the practice. You're not shackled to it. And ultimately, you're actually creating better impact and money as a result of converting more people, which is where I come in and which is what this video is all about. How do you actually make more money this year? So one thing you probably know about me, if you've never heard me speak or watched me on video before, is I am a middle child of 8 kids, super shy, introverted, and I've always hated the idea of selling. In fact, last year, I dropped this book called The Trust Formula, How to Create Influence and Income for Entrepreneurs Who Hate Selling. Because I thought I hated selling, and the reality is this. I had a mentor of mine just last year remind me, the reason why people hate selling, and I was included, or I thought I hated selling, is because you only remember the bad ones. But when you've been sold something by somebody who is intentionally trying to sell you something, but it was a good experience. You didn't equate that to selling. You thought that you were just having a good conversation and they were giving you something or helping you see that you could buy something that was valuable to you, and it was a good exchange. That was selling. But you don't remember the good ones. You only remember the bad ones. So what if I told you you could actually sell, influence people, persuade them to buy what you have, happily pay you cash, and do it with a care plan so they actually follow through. They get a result that's just not a transaction, but a result because they came and they stayed and they transformed their health and their body and they actually referred without you asking them. What if I told you you could do that and be yourself? I had a mediocre practice. It was pretty good by most standards. It was above average. But it was stressful and I wasn't myself, and I was just trying to be like the people that coached me and the mentors that I had. And so yes, we were getting some results, but in 2008 something happened that transformed my mediocre practice into a $1 million cash cow. All the while I actually became more of myself. It was more fulfilling. It was less stressful because I implemented this one thing. And if you've heard me talk before, you know this one thing. See, my dad had a heart attack and then he had heart surgery in this Tuesday in 2008. I came back to my practice, had a huge report, saw a lot of new patients that night, and we converted 10 out of 11 people, collected $30,000 that one night when my high before was $8,000 for an entire week, and it was all cash. And I changed one thing. I used my signature story. Now, I didn't know that's what I'd call it at the time. I have now created a formula to help all of my clients unpack and reverse engineer and deliver their signature story. But that's what I did. I was just at an emotional moment where I just didn't care what they thought of me. And I'm a shy introvert. I care what everybody thinks of me. But that night, because I was in this state, I just watched my dad go through surgery, I just told him, here's what I'm here to do. This is why health matters to you, and here's my expertise because of my own journey. And what transpired in those next 2 to 3 years in my practice, I couldn't describe at the moment. Now I can. I was able to bake my signature story that allowed all of my prospects, new patients, and even people that didn't know me to know that my motive was pure. That my motive wasn't about just me making money. That my recommendations weren't just about them doing what I wanted them to do. It was about them getting the best results. And there was research, ironically, in the same year, 2008, that came out, I just saw this 2 years ago, from McMaster University, that when somebody hears a story, they immediately are wired to the motive of the main person of the story. Well, I teach my clients, we have to use your signature story. The most powerful story you have is yours. And when you use it appropriately, which is what I'm telling you is gonna make you more money, the reason why it makes you more money is because now the motive behind what you do becomes so pure and so right and so real and so passionate. Now, they don't think, oh, this guy's trying to sell me on something or get me to do something for his reasons or her reasons. This is to help me. And your story does that like that. And I've seen it done over and over and over again. And when you're in a low trust industry, as you are, surveys actually show it's right there next to car salesmen and lawyers. You can't fight that. That's why a signature story in today's economy is so vital. And so if you want to put more money into your bank account this year, and most importantly, help more people and be more yourself, I'm telling you, using your story in a way that I lay out in this book, using the impact story formula, which I created because it's structured appropriately. All screenwriters, every play, every movie, every show has this same structure for a story. And I think you're going to be surprised because it's not about how great you are. It's the opposite. It's making them the hero, the prospect the hero, the listener the hero, by helping them feel edified, helping them feel understood, because your story helps them build trust and helps them feel like you're just like them. And the cool part is this is all based on brain science. A story hits this part of the brain right here, this primal, almost subconscious part of the brain. It's not the cortex, it's this primal part of the brain. And when you hit people in that area, they feel you. And when they feel you, they can't often explain exactly why they're gonna pay you, why they're gonna follow through, why they're gonna tell others, but they do it without you even having to ask. Like Dr. Andrew comes to mind, who is now collecting $20,000 more per month by adding this one thing, his signature story. And when he came to see us, he actually had a story. He wasn't using it right. He wasn't hitting on the points. Once we nailed it, made 2 small tweaks, boom, now this becomes his marketing. It becomes every time he opens his mouth, he just tells his story. Have you noticed that influencers in today's economy selling anything or being a part of any stage or taking their message to any group of people is they always go back to their origin story? There's a reason. It hits the brain different. When it hits the brain different, people respond different. So this year, it's time to transform your results, and I'm gonna tell you, nothing will do that more than a signature story. And oh, by the way, if you think that you don't have a story, you'd be wrong. We deal with this all day, every day. People come in and say, well, I don't think I have a good enough story. You do, because it's yours. And so listen, if you need help on that, let us know. Click the link below. This is what we do. I wanna help you transform your practice, put more money into it, take more profit from it, being able to free up your time and actually create more impact. And oh, by the way, one last thing, actually using story in your communication will get you better clinical outcomes. That's for another video. That's my message. I'm gonna tell you, the fields are ripe. It's a great time to be a chiropractor. God bless you. I'm Dr. Dan. More from me. Subscribe below. I'm out.